Hi everybody, this is Pam at The Paper Outpost, and I am very happy to present to you Treasured Moments. This is my latest, very stuffed, chunky monkey journal, and I'm going to give you a little tour of her. And at the time of this video, she is available for purchase in my Etsy shop. But let me go ahead and give you a little tour around. She's approximately 7 3/4 by 4 3/4 with a big fat 2-inch spine. She is a fabric covered journal, but she also has a hard front and a hard back, but a soft spine. So she has some squishability to her. Okay. Let's see. Let me give you a little tour of her outside. Okay, so this is, let me actually take you guys in. Zoop. Okay, this is what her fabric looks like. It's a very pretty and colorful fabric. And I just fell in love with this fabric when I saw it, and I thought, oh, you must become a journal. You must become a journal. And I even backed the spine. I reinforced the spine with some of its own fabric. So the fabric is turned backwards here to give a different look to the spine. And it has eyelets placed to hold the exposed spine threads. And the back is the material showing. Okay, now there's a lot in this journal, so we're going to hop to it. Okay. Okay, so the closure is a removable closure, and I have this very, very beautiful giant antique skeleton key. You can see that on camera. It's really a beautiful key, probably one of my most beautiful keys. And I attached it with a little garment pin that has been lightly decorated, and I have just pinned that to the closure, which is a crocheted spine which has been tea dyed. And you just undo it, and this is just entirely removable. Very easy access journal. And when you're looking at the side of the journal, she's got a very big, fat, chunky munker going on here. She protrudes over the top. She sticks out this way, maybe a little bit on the bottom, but she is chock full of things. And on her side, you're going to see a lot of little charms and embellishments and laced paper clips, some ragged paper clips, all sorts of fun. So she has a lot of oddities and curiosities in her pages. All right. Oh, what? Where's Sunny? Hey, are you sleeping on the job? Hey, you, are you sleeping? Never mind, I won't bother you. And there's your answer. Okay, so the front has a coffee dyed paper backed with some writing paper, a journal stamp, some lace, and you're going to see this lace and another lace themed throughout, and a sewn around very beautiful picture of, I believe these are poppies on the front. And let's take a peek inside. Here we go. Oh, let me get my little book assist. I'm lost without my... I didn't show you this. In her at the center of her 3 signatures, she has these little... can you see that? One says love, one says protected, one says believe, these little metal charms, and they hang down low. But they're low enough so that you can pull them out and use them as bookmarkers if you're going through the book. So I wanted to keep them extra long and dangly for that purpose. Okay. And here we go inside. Let me orient you a little better so you can see. Okay, yes, this is a blanket. Okay, that's all I could find at the moment. Okay, so when you open her up, as always with my chunky monkeys, you get a little about this journal, the note from the bookmaker, which explains what a journal is all about and how you can use it and different ideas for using them. In here, I also have a handwritten letter from, this one is 1905, and I believe this one is a French letter. It's a very beautiful French letter, beautiful calligraphy, just lovely. Something says, that might say the musician or something. I don't know. I'm not so. Your son, the musician. But it's a very, very beautiful letter. So there you go. And then you're going to get a paper doll. And if anybody remembers those, they were so much fun. And a lovely vintage picture of this lady. This may have been her book, or maybe somebody really thought she was an amazing person and wanted to keep her close. This was Lorraine from 1938. That was the year my mom was born. Oh, hi, Lorraine. Oh, and she even signed it. I don't know if you can see that. Lorraine. And then she says a beloved cousin. my beloved cousin. Oh, there we go. We know so much about her now. Isn't that fabulous? Love that. This is from one of my DigiKits, Birds, Black and White. It's a journal card. And we'll go through this relatively quickly because there is so much in here, and I want to have the owner have some fun of exploring on their own. But there's a lot of handmade embellishments and a ton of authentic vintage and antique embellishments, or ephemera. And so here there's a lot of stamping in this journal as well. A lot of coffee dyed, avocado dyed pages. Here is a receipt from 1902 from the Water and Steam Company. Okay, and this is a little handmade embellishment. I'll let you explore that. Here's a little flip up. This flips up, and there's a pretty on the other side. Here's a real vintage seed packet, and there's something inside of there. Here's a little handmade, this is made from a playing card, which has been covered and decorated. Avocado dyed paper. Here's some beautiful, I just thought these birds were beautiful from a field guide. I tucked them in there, and this is one of the tissue covered envelopes that I made on a video somewhere back. And here is a page from an old I think it says 1936 diary. So you can take a sneak peek into somebody's diary. Here's a little tearaway, just for fun if you want to add pieces elsewhere. And a lot of the ephemera and the embellishments are removable. Some are glued in place, some are removable, but this will collapse a lot if you do remove all the removables, and it gives you a lot more writing space. Here's a little packet stuffed with all sorts of goodies. There's an old bottle cap from milk. Here's some, I just got this writing paper. I thought it was so pretty. It comes with envelopes, and I got that for Christmas, so I thought I'd stick a piece of that in here because it's so special. Here's a receipt. Here's a handmade belly band. Here's a card that opens up and reveals, this is a school records from somebody, and there's some stamping underneath, and here is on this side a Wee Willie Winky card and a very old business tracing paper card, letter. This was gifted to me by a very special person who sent it to me from Europe. It is Edelweiss. See, that's a real Edelweiss. Yeah, I don't know, have they dried that or what, but they sent me a few, and it's really, it's velvety soft to feel, and I just wanted to share that. And I put some little snap buttons along the piece of lace here. Okay. And here is a little tuckable pocket that I put all sorts of fun things in. Here's an old Ringling Brothers ticket. Here, just some ephemera, a little hand painting there. Here's another little rose hand painting bookmark journal card from me with some stamping on the back and some inspiration. Here's another handwritten letter. This one is from 1904. And that one is, actually, I think it logs out the commencement plan for senior week, and it tells you the baccalaureates are on Sunday, reception at Mr. Whiting, senior tea, commencement day. It's just beautiful to think that, this was done in 1904, and somebody was actually writing that out. I think that is so cool. Remember when we used to handwrite? Remember? It was a while ago. Okay. Make sure you're all focused and you're in place. Okay, here's a belly band made out of some embossing and fabrics, and here's a beautiful postcard and a coffee dyed guest check, some stamping on the back here, some washi tape. This is a removable scrappy notebook. Here's a little one of these. These were fun to make. Whee! You can write on the backs. There we go. Here's some stenciling on a page with some lace and an old vintage medical prescription. Some in the center of all the signatures are some beautiful floral pages. Some dictionary stamping. Here's the cross-legged foldovers, and there's some fabric behind here with a stamp on it. More stamping. There's so many things tucked in here. It's got a lot in it. Here's a little corner tuck. Here's an old register from a bank book. Here's a little belly band pocket with an old vintage label in it from some wine or spirits. Here's an old vintage button at the top. Here's an old newspaper articles with prices for housing and pianos, and you can get a good used piano from $165. That's not bad. I don't know when actually that was written, but there's a story about a veteran on the back. Here's more lace, and here is an old check from I think it's 1903, and some beautiful coffee dyed paper with some stamping and little metal charms. And here is a old recipe, a handwritten recipe, and here's a vintage, probably an antique Victorian trade card. Sometimes you get some things on the back, sometimes they're plain, just depends on the ones. This is from my birds, black and white. Here is some washi tape, and here is a folded page, and this is a real flower that I pressed with my microfleur that I use in the microwave, and it works really great. And the colors seem to last a long time. I think they probably will fade over time, but they do really last, and I probably did this at least 2 weeks ago, so it's very dry, and there it is, just to be explored. Here's somebody's identification from a long time ago, and some journal paper, some sticker, and some lace. Here's old Thailand lottery tickets. Might want to check them, see if they won. It's a 19, I think that's 13 or 15. I think that might be French again. Yep, that might be French again. And these are from my Songbird collection digi-kits. More stamping and coffee dyeing. I thought that was cool, the way that looks like the ground. Just happened by chance. Here's a very cool vintage, this is either Ukrainian or Ukrainian or Russian information about certain flowers and things like that. I love those, absolutely love those when I find those. And here's an old written business letter and some information about the poppy. And a pocket made out of some pretty bird pictures. And here we have, what is this? This is a bank paper. This is some foreign money, and you've got some beautiful mushroom stamps. This is a beautiful bird page, some more stamping. This is an old ticket from 1945. Coffee dyed German vocabulary translation, and a glass with care. More from the bird, black and white. Some old ephemera. This is a eco-dyed, the immersed in water, boiled with leaves and things like that I did a while back. I have some of those. And here's an old birthday card and a vocabulary, not a vocabulary, those are numbers. Flashcard, mathematical flashcard. I know that. I hope I know that. Here's another handwritten something. And a recipe, and I put some good questions for inspiration through here, like, if you became a writer, what would you write? And here's a nice little fabric pocket with some birds. This is a real ticket to go to Hanover, a vintage one, and there's some vocabulary cards in here and some letter vocabulary stimulation phonics things, I guess. And here is a flower card. Just some decorations. This is cool. This is probably antique, back from the Victorian times. I think, does this open? Oh, it does something like it pops up or something. I don't know exactly what it does, but it's kind of cool. It's very pretty, intricate die cut from way back when. And here's a little layered design. Oh, and this guy has a little dream. An old paper, or coffee dyed paper. And here is another Victorian trade card, some stamping, another one from Songbirds to make this pocket. Then there's an address change book and an old Scantron computer card. Here's a very old envelope, and I stuffed it with some fun things for you to explore. Here's a glassine coffee dyed envelope with some things in it. And we'll just take a cruise on through. So yes, these are long, and then you could tag them, hang them over to different pages if you want to mark different pages. This is one of the ugly scrapbook papers turned pretty, and I just cut it down, and I took one of the vintage digi-kits that I have that has writing on them, and if I can think of the name of it, I will put it down below. And then I just sewed around it and used that as a surprise exploration item. More from the Songbirds collection. Here's a very, very old 1897 ledger. Okay. And here's a removable, like a currency card. It's got here's old recipes to make a drink called the jelly bean. And there's some other fun things to explore in there. Here's an old drink thing from Germany. There's a Edith Holden page. I just popped the whole page in here because I thought you might like to play with it. It's got writing on the back and pictures on the front. And here is a little envelope turned into a little mini booklet journal thingy that we made at some point. I don't remember exactly when. A little while back, not too far though. And I'll try and put the video for that link down below. But basically, you just take an envelope, and this has some writing space here. It has a little notebook here, which you can write different things to yourself. And this has a little flip up where you can add little extra notes. And oh, it also has a little secret hideaway, little extra writing space in here just for fun. So there you go. Lots of fun to be had with an envelope. Who doesn't have more fun with an envelope than us, right? Okay. That's a real old ticket. I did some stenciling here. Here's a beautiful picture with an alteration tag on some beautiful paper. Here's a lovely little embossed pocket with some cutie little cards. Look at like Audrey, you're amazing. You're amazing. We all love you. More stamping with some lace. Here's some old, I believe this is Russian identification. Anybody can recognize that? Please shout out and let us know what it is. We'd love to know. I'm pretty sure it's Russian. Could be Ukrainian. I'm not quoting. Some music paper, some from my Victorian Snow collection, my DigiKit. This and that, I think. And here's a bridge card, more from one of the Victorian Snow. And here is a piece of old ephemera from 1898. Here's some French mailing ephemera. More stamping here. Here's an old dictionary page. Library cards. Here's a very pretty. It's probably one of my favorites. This is a real Victorian calling card, and it's just got the pretty shell on it. I thought that was so pretty. And just used a doily here and some pieces. An old business letter, very fragile. This is a big journaling card on some stamped avocado paper. Here's a piece of blueprint. Yes, thank you. And I just left it as is, so you could play with it, but it's very cool, and it's very old. I guess it's from 1936, 1935 time. Here's a piece of stock certificate from somebody's stock. Some more stenciling on some coffee dyed paper. Here's a lovely, handsome gentleman. I just thought he had attitude. Didn't he have attitude? That's attitude. And a beautiful old remnant from a Gothic writing style. I love that. Love that. And a poem and an old Rolodex card with a fabric and paper lined pocket. And oh, this is a very cute. These are from a book about special inns and little unique hotels from way back when. You can read all about that one. Here's an old envelope from 1918, and I put some fun things in there for you to explore. Can you see? Can you see? Okay. And this is an old receipt received from, and it is in French. Here's an old ledger page and some stamping. Lots of fun things. More little collections of goodies. Another Edith Holden page. Here's a real ticket from the Yosemite Short Line Railway Company. Poem. More business paperage. Here's a page from the German magazines that I have. They're so gorgeous. I just included the whole page in here so you could check that out. Here's just some fun extra. Here's a chemistry card. This is from the World's Fair. You can see that. From the Vatican Pavilion at the World's Fair in 1963-64. Those are really cool. They're real. And a little poem tucked in here as well. Okay, well, don't be running all over the place now. I'm going to have to paper clip you. All right, I just might do that. Okay. A little flip up. Here's a page from an old magazine, The Sociable Soap. That's funny, isn't it? Here's an old Thesaurus Page. This is from my DigiKit Victorian Snow. This is a very old, maybe we can see this on the Zoom. Maybe I can read it. Probably not. Okay, I'm going to bring it closer. It's a cute little pin. Can anybody read what that says? But it's somebody, I'm sure, very famous or very important. But there you go. Yeah, I don't think it's, well, never know. Could be good. 425. 425K. Well, that could be gold. You never know. So this journal could be worth a lot more than I'm charging for it. How about that? I think that's cool. And yes, I will leave it on there. Does it say something else on it? Okay. Here is a ticket and a poem and a handmade little corner tuck, some stamping. Here's a beautiful Christmas story in here, just tucked in with this little snow page. And here's a beautiful center of this last signature. So there are 3 signatures in this book. Oh, this page has an upper tuck, which is a napkin covered sewn playing card. And then underneath it has a little handmade envelope and just a whole bunch of fun tickets. Here's some Russian bus tickets. Here's an old Ridge Avenue Railway tickets. And this is a page from a German, is that German? Might be French. Kind of looking French to me at the moment. Oh, now it looks German again. Allemande. Yeah, I'm going with German. It is German, and it's a very old grammar book. And just some fun tuckables and things. Here's some of that German magazine, lace and buttoned. And this is tucked with a little dictionary and more from the Bird Black and White. And this is a real ticket from the Chicago Civic Opera, a stub. Here's another ticket. I believe these are Thailand bus tickets. And just a fun little paper, but this is a shorthand from a shorthand book. And then there's some German translation up there. And just some fun little items in here in this pocket with lots of stamping. And this is a little fabric pocket, and there's more little fun things tucked in here. Nice writing page with beautiful stamping. And here's some beautiful lavender writing paper that I put inside here for extra writing space. And this is a tearaway notebook that is removable. There's a little, some stamping going on under there. There's some old vintage dictionary pages. There's a little piece of, oh, I signed this book right here. And, just put a little signature and the date. And there's an old divider card. And this is a beautiful piece of handmade paper. I didn't make this handmade paper, but it's that very thin, very handmade, embedded with leaves and plants and extra writing space. And then when you come to the very back, oh, this particular one has sewn pockets using the same material. And I tucked a journal within a journal here. And this is one of the fabric, let me back out a little bit, sorry. The fabric journals that I made just a little while back. And we have some fun little tuckables in the front and in the back. And she's got a bunch of beautiful pages of all different kinds on the inside. So there you go. I hope you like her. And she, like I said at the time of this video, is available in my Etsy shop. And there are more goodies on their way. So if you don't get this one, stay tuned. There's always more coming. I love making these things. And I hope you enjoyed her. I had a lot of fun. Sunny is still sleeping. And all is well. So take care, everybody. And I will be seeing you soon. Happy crafting. And remember, create with reckless abandon. Take care. Bye-bye.